Hello! I've got this to review. I have an assistant over there, and obviously this is a different view of the room, but this is the Learning Resource Dice Tower. Hear them fall, count them all. So I've got this free for review from the Amazon Vine program because, well, it's got polyhedral dice in it, and I kind of love polyhedral dice. I have not really looked at what this is for, but to quote Stuart Ashen, 0 to 3 sad onions. So basically 4 and above by this number, but 5 and above here. 2 to 4 players. I have no idea what this is about really. I've had this actually for quite a while to review, but I've not got round to it until today. The thing just comes as polythene. There's clearly dice in there. So let's open it up. Okay, the printing's quite nice. There's my assistant. I'll just get rid of the plastic responsibly into the bin, and let's have a look what we've got. Okay, so we have some instructions. There is a fountain motif in the lid. There is some instructions here which I'll get back to, and we have the dice in there. That's quite nice feeling. There's a little bit of glued plastic there, and this opens up. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so there's actually a pair of hands, and if we open it up, there's a little dragon hiding underneath, and he's sort of staring at you. It just disappears into darkness in there. There is actually a slope and some sort of thing in there. So it's quite a nice little thing. We've got a shoe here, a set of shoes going up there. I will just move them out. Let's move the camera a little bit. Woo! Woo! Dropped you all. Let me pick you all back up. This isn't going to be edited, by the way. I can't be bothered to edit. So you'll have to forgive this for being so naff. But I am the king of naff reviews, as I've been told. Now I can't get this up. There we go. No. This is just terrible. This is just absolutely terrible. Sorry, folks. This is what comes of not planning ahead. There we go. There we go, sort of. I wanted you to see the top of it. Anyway, we have the horse. We have the knave. This is the guy that's lost the shoe, obviously. He's shimmed around. And we have the suspicious lord up here. So, polyhedral dice-wise, we have got a set of 6 polyhedral dice. And okay, they're a little bit cheap, but they're not bad. Printing wise, these are a little bit naff. They've been etched out, and then obviously that's it. Have they been painted? They may have been painted, but the etching out is not fantastic. I wish this would focus better. We have a standard die. There we go. We have an 8-sided. Yep. We have a unknown sided, 10-sided, which didn't come out. Well, it did. We have the good old polyhedral. I love that. I love those. They're my favourite. Again, we see between the 6 and the 9. Not the best of cutting out on the dice. We will take some close-ups of those for you. The 4-sided. And we just have another poly. Oh, look at that. That's actually a 7, look. Oh, the 12. The 7 and the 12 have been proper mangled there. Yeah, so the black, these are obviously a white die, and they obviously have cut into them and then coloured they're a black die, and they've cut into them and then coloured the cutting in, and this is just overspill. No, it's just completely stuck on there. It's not coming off there. Let me try again. Yeah, that's just horrible. So unfortunately that one is naff. All the others are okay. They're okay. They aren't the prettiest of dice. A little bit disappointed with that, but this is made to a budget. This is a £13 game. And I'm going to assume that what we do is 3 in a row. Players 2 to 4. Challenge level dot. Number of dice 1. Choose any numbers between 1 and 10 and write a different number in each square. So it wants you to write a sort of checkerboard. Players take it in turns to roll the die and cross off the number on their grid. So it's bingo. You're playing bingo. So you pick a die. If you're going to pick this die, you don't want to have 6 or 7 in your list. That's not really made clear. I know that. Would a child know that of 4? I don't think so. They might write down 9 because 9's their favourite number, and suddenly they're not going to get 9. But then they get that and go, oh, I've got a 1, and they cross that off. So it's bingo. Obviously, if someone else knows how to do that one, they go, well, I got a 6. This one, they got an 8, etc., etc., etc. That's fine. Next one, against the clock. 2 to 4 counters. So I don't know what counters are. So you pick 2 dice. Aim the games, go around the clock from 1 to 12 in order. The first player to roll a dice with either 1. So basically, you need to have a dice that's gonna, I don't know how you give this. The first player to reach 12 wins with 1 dice, or 2 dice, sorry. So you pick 2 dice and try and get 12. So 8 and 2 gives me 10. No. So I need a 0 and a 1 to start off. Is there a 0? There is a 0 on this die, so yeah, that would work for that die set. Okay, it wouldn't work for that dice. It would work for that one. You'd have to assume some number for a 1 or something. The next one, 2 to 4 players, take all the dice, pencil and paper, aim is to get 3 or more of a kind. So faux Yahtzee. And that's basically it. So you put them through and they come out the bottom. So if I now just take you in to have a look, it's actually quite a nice little game. I can see this being a wet afternoon's fun. Well, maybe a wet hour of an afternoon's fun. So we can. Oh, after you've opened it, it was tight down when I first had it. Now it's not so tight down. Love this. A little bit disappointed with that 1 dice being a bit squiffy, but otherwise, you know, it's a fairly nice little game. I presume we can store it together. We put those in there. They just go back in. Oh, sorry. Put those back in there, and then I'm gonna guess we need to put the lid on, which does want to go on quite firmly. Actually, there you go. That actually does want to go on there quite firmly. I mean, it will slowly fall off, but yeah, I can see that being kept around somewhere. I've left the instructions out. So the instructions look like this. We have got oh, they're just the German and French versions. So you need a piece of paper and pen. There's 3 different games there mentioned. It mentions that there are more games online. So 3 suggested games with more games online. Fair enough. Learning resources. I could see this teaching you to work with dice. It could see you getting into D&D quite easily with this. This is an entry gateway, method into D&D. I could see that being quite useful for the 0 to 4 sad onions. I quite like it. You know, it's not terrible at all. I could see this being part of. I mean, I would sneakily put this in part of my D&D game. I really would. I would just sneak it in somewhere, and you know, it's quite nicely done. It's quite nicely worked out. So you've got the camera, got the, you know, the look of the thing. I quite like it. Yeah, it's going in my rotation. Gonna give it a thumbs up. Now let's try and turn this off without dropping the camera.